Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys exhibit walking tour. Now originally I had planned to do this in the exact same way as we've done ACGHK, San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con. However, unfortunately Toy Sapiens was blasting a whole bunch of copyright music, so hopefully this voiceover will suffice. So basically what they had on display here was all things DC, not only Hot Toys product, but also one-to-one scale replicas, cosplay, and a bunch of other awesome bits and pieces from a bunch of different companies. But they also did have Hot Toys as well. So starting off with one of the newest pieces being the prestige version of the Arkham Knight Batman. This is pretty much a straight up reissue of Arkham Knight Batman, just of course with that gold bat logo and that super shiny gold utility belt as well. Now there is a little bit of a difference here, and it's the fact that they do have a little bit of a blue hue to the gauntlets and the boots as well. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate to the game or not. It's been a while since I played this game, and I know it's sacrilege to say, but unfortunately I didn't get this suit in the game. I didn't 100% complete it, or whatever the amount was to get this suit, but it still looks absolutely fantastic. I also did pick one up in person. Now we also do have Batgirl here. She's recently gone up for pre-order. That for me was a huge surprise. I didn't expect that to happen. She's been shown a bunch of times at Comic Cons here and there. Finally she's here. That bodes well for some of the other figures that have had the same treatment. Now as you can see in person, it looks really darn good. One of the coolest bits that I did notice was the fact that the legs are actually plugged on and they're a separate piece to the upper torso. That means hopefully more leg articulation. Unfortunately though, the boots still look very, very restrictive. The outfit itself looks like entirely rubber, as you'd expect. The figure overall presents really nicely in person. Now we're just going to skip over Arkham Knight Batman to showcase the Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. Another huge surprise for me, something that I really didn't think was going to happen. Now a lot of people are getting a little bit upset because they would have much rathered the Arkham Asylum or indeed the Arkham City version of Harley. This one works for me. I really like the way this looks. The head sculpt looks amazing. It looks like an all new body, as well as the upper bodice area, I should say, is rather visible. It looks like, as I said, at least a new overlay on the body itself. I would highly expect that to go up for pre-order rather soon. Now we do have, of course, the Arkham Knight Batman Beyond suit. In person, my suspicions were corrected in the fact that the outfit is that sort of puffer jacket poofy style material, which means that you're going to be able to hopefully pose this guy without fear of creasing or damage to the undersuit itself. There was, however, a bit of paint scuffage on the armor on the torso, so when you get yours in hand and you are posing him up, hopefully not as crazy as this one in the display, just be very careful. Now of course we had Deathstroke standing in there as well, but here we have the, I guess you could say, the artist alley of DC figures, all done by different artists. Interesting that they've actually allowed customizers to display their work here. Miss Collection was saying that she thinks that it could possibly be a contest and that the winner receives some sort of prize. I'm not entirely sure if that's the truth or not, but still, it's an interesting concept nonetheless. We've got this red and vine covered version of Justice League Tactical Suit Batman. The cowl was also flocked, which is really interesting. We also do have a DX12 in this really sort of pop art style. I don't even know what to call it. It's just weird. It's very weird, but I know a lot of people will probably, if these ever do go on sale for this one-off sort of look, you know, a lot of people might pick it up because it's a really interesting, unique piece. This guy is known as Galaxy Batman. A very cool galaxy look to the cape, and the entire outfit was speckled with white paint. This one here is like a luchador wrestling style mask version of Adam West Batman. Really, really weird. These guys, I don't know what was going through their minds when they made these, but then again, it's art, so all things are subjective when it comes to art. Very interesting, very bizarre, but you know, it's good to see this stuff on display in an official Hot Toys store. That's Hot Toys really embracing the customizing community. Now we do have a DX12 that's been Joker-fied, just like we saw with the actual imposter Joker figure. Very, very obscure, but I actually really like the way this one looks, and the cape obviously is on the ground with ha-ha and why so serious and all that sort of stuff written all over it. Now this one has come to be known affectionately as Pimp Batman. He's bedazzled, he's looking fabulous, very weird with the feather cape. I'm not sure where that's come from. Not so ominous, more glam, but I guess this is for when Batman is taking on the higher end criminals of Gotham. Very, very bizarre. Now on the back wall here, we do have all of the DC Collectibles animated series and New Batman Adventures figures. Pretty much the entire line. A couple were missing, yes, but if you wanted to start your collection, this was a very good opportunity to do so because they had a bunch of figures, including the vehicles as well, which are getting a little bit hard to find. Now we do have a 1-to-1 scale Wonder Woman. There were two 1-to-1 scale pieces in this display. This Wonder Woman right here that I'm pretty sure is based off BVS. It looks okay for a display piece. It looks perfectly fine. The likeness is definitely there. Hot Toys doesn't do so well, unfortunately, with these 1-to-1 scale pieces. The skin texture isn't there and the detailing is a little bit soft, but the whole presence is it being 1-to-1 scale. Now we do have some prop replicas here, including the mallet, the baseball bat, and of course the wonderful caution tape jacket being modeled here by Ms. Collection. She did in fact buy one, and hopefully she'll be doing a Harley cosplay at the next convention. And it's a really awesome looking jacket, mind you. Now they also did have a bunch of bags by a company called Loungefly. I do believe that's an American-based company. We have seen these at a bunch of Comic Cons here and there. They look cool. They're very interesting, all the designs. They also do have a bunch of caps there, wallets. It's really interesting to see how deep they go on this apparel stuff, because you could technically treat it as cosplay or wear it out on the street. It works either way. Now here's the other 1-to-1 scale piece in Toy Sapiens, and that is a BVS Batman. The interesting thing here was the outfit was entirely sculpted, no fabric over the top. I have seen the actual BVS suit in Madame Tussauds in Sydney, and that one was a little bit more impressive. Now on the back wall here, we did have some actual costumes used in the production of these movies. On the right, we did have the Wonder Woman 84 suit, which was extremely vibrant. The red was very glossy, the gold was very punchy, it looked amazing in person. And in the back there, I do believe that was from the Wonder Woman solo movie based off the shield that was there on display, and it's a lot more muted. It's not gold, it's actually more silver, so it's interesting to see the striking difference between the two. Now we did have a bunch of Harley Quinn outfits. We did have the Suicide Squad outfit in the back, and then of course a couple of different outfits from Birds of Prey, I should say. The belt I was just pointing out there is actually an HQ Harley Quinn belt. These outfits in person look really good. Very, very striking, very colorful, very playful. I love the outfit choices for Birds of Prey. A couple of people have said that they're not as good as what we saw from Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. I don't tend to agree with that. I actually prefer all of these super flamboyant and really racy outfits that we saw in Birds of Prey, especially this one right here, the booby trap battle outfit with the gold overalls, I guess you could call them. Very, very cool. I really like this outfit in the movie, and in person it looks equally as impressive as it does on the figure as well, which you'll see a little bit later in this video. But as you can see, roller skates are present, and they are really nicely done, not only in the 1-to-1 scale version, but also in the figure as well. Now we did have some Joker outfits on display. Interesting, because Hot Toys aren't actually making any Joker figures. I'm not sure why they've chosen to display these costumes. Maybe it's a good sign for people hoping for official Hot Toys Joker figures. But either way, the suit is a lot darker than I expected in person, and the shoes as well are a lot more brown and a lot more scuffed up and damaged. Maybe that's because these were actually obviously used in the production of the movie, but it's interesting to see the differences between the Toys era and M-Toys figures and this suit in person. As I said, a lot darker and a lot more slender. Now let's move over to some of the figures on display. We're going to skip over the 1966 Batman figures and of course the 89 and 92 figures. They're not being reissued or anything like that. A lot of people were thinking that that was going to be the case. They're just here on display just so you can see the entire DC line by Hot Toys. Now we do have the Chris O'Donnell Robin from Batman Forever. He actually looks really good in person. A lot of people don't like a lot of very specific areas of the outfit. Some people don't like the quarter scale crotch, they were calling it. Some people don't like the cape. Some people don't like the head sculpt. Trust me, in person, it actually comes together really nicely. I think the likeness is rather strong. I like this sort of metallic pearlescent effect that they have on the bodysuit. It was there in the movie, and it's definitely there on the figure. A couple of people were saying that the green and the red weren't as striking as they should be, but no, it actually looks really accurate in person. Same thing with the Val Kilmer suit here. It looks really good. Very restrictive though. That goes for this figure and also the Robin. They are just, looks like thick rubber suits, and that will mean if Hot Toys ever does release these figures, you're going to have a bit of a restriction. It looks like Arkham City Gate all over again. Now in terms of the Batman itself, it looks like that mouth plate can actually be removed. I'll be expecting at least 2 two different expressions out of this figure. The cape itself looks very nice, very light. It drapes very, very nicely on the figure, which I really do appreciate, especially when Hot Toys' track record for capes isn't all that good. Now moving over to the Wonder Woman 84 display. This figure right here is branded as Wonder Woman 84. The colors would also suggest that, I should say. Very, very vibrant, especially the red. It has this almost chrome-like effect to it, especially on the torso area there. You can see how shiny that is. And there is a gold undertone to the highlighted areas on the actual armor itself. It looks fantastic. That head sculpt looks to be a reuse of the Justice League head sculpt. Again, because this figure hasn't been officially announced or solicited, we don't know if this is going to actually be what it looks like when they do that. I would expect, though, at least this figure, not sure about the gold arm one, but at least this figure for the release of Wonder Woman 84. Now, we do have, of course, the Golden Eagle version. I'm not exactly sure if that's the true name of it or not, but here you have it. It looks good. It looks very, very chrome, very shiny. It catches the light, obviously, when you're moving the camera around it. It's quite hard to film because of how shiny it is, but it looks amazing. Now, they have done one modification to the prototype, and that's that they've removed the under chin strap armor, because a lot of people were pointing out it's not accurate to the film. In the final version, in the movie, in the trailers, it doesn't have that. So, of course, on this prototype, it's been removed as well. I don't know if that means it's going to be coming with that if they ever do make this figure, but this piece right here is very impressive, very striking. It's going to be a huge fingerprint magnet, but it looks amazing. Now moving over to the Harley Quinn. This one is the booby trap battle version in her gold overalls with, of course, those awesome roller skates that you saw just before. The texture is a little bit different on the figure to what we saw in person. It's a little bit more shiny, but that really helps to make it even more eye-catching, especially at this small scale. Now the head sculpt, a lot of people weren't so sure on. Trust me, in person it looks bang on to Margot Robbie. It looks fantastic. I am very impressed with the work that Hot Toys, JC Hong, and whoever sculpted this head sculpt have done for this prototype. You can see her change as well, looking fantastic. Now this is the other new figure on display. Let me firstly say I love the pose that they've chosen for this figure right here. She looks amazing. Now one of the questions I did have, or a couple of people had for me I should say, is the joints. Are they all that horrendous in person? No, trust me, in person, those two joints on the knees, they just sort of melt away. You don't really see them because of how good this figure does look. That head sculpt, yes, the nose is a little bit too big. I will agree. It is a little bit too big, but out of the two, this has to be my, I don't know, least favorite, I guess, out of the two on display, but that's not saying much because I love them both. It still looks really, really good. Interesting also to note that she does have two boots, where in the movie at the time where she's wearing this outfit with the egg sandwich, she is actually missing that second boot. Now, of course, there is a bunch of other DC-related merch on display, but there are a couple more of these one-off custom art style pieces. This one here is, I guess, Red Batman. He's glossy red. He's got his cape in his hand. He's got these ropes all around it. Very, very weird. Again, these are just more sort of custom-inspired one-off pieces. This one right here, I've dubbed as Frozen Batman. You can see he's white, he's blue, he's purple, he's got love hearts on his boots. Very interesting. I like the sort of translucent look to the cape. Again, I'd hope that doesn't get made. This one right here is Punk Batman. He actually looks really good. This would be one that I would actually consider purchasing. He's wearing Terminator boots and he's got a Terminator jacket on there, but the rest of it is, I don't know, I guess just custom 1/6 scale clothing. I really like the way this looks. It looks like an Elseworlds Batman, and I love that they've done that. This one here is one that I would consider buying as well. This Rainbow Effect 66 Batman. Very cool. I like the work that the artist has done here, and it looks very clean as well. All of these customs look very professionally done, which I really am impressed by. Now, of course, down the end here, we have Arkham Superman Batman crossover combo. It's got the Man of Steel chest plate on there. Looks like the Man of Steel cape as well. So a lot of interesting stuff going on in this custom display here. And I'm glad that these custom artists are able to display their work in such a public event where people can come in and see new stuff and also see custom stuff. So it really opens people's minds as to what they can expect from Hot Toys on the official front and also on the custom front as well. Either way, that's pretty much it for our coverage of the DC All-Stars event in Tokyo. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.